Peace, this is King Messiah, and I am here with That's That Girl, and today we're going to be talking about mental health, some of the misconceptions, some of the biggest issues that we are facing today when it comes to mental health facilities, okay? I want you guys to follow this story, and I also want you to follow her journey into getting justice for a great travesty that was given to her when she had a life-changing experience when she was admitted into a facility for some personal things. So that's that girl. Go ahead and introduce yourself and how people can follow you and so forth.
At That's That Girl. It'll be only on YouTube, so you don't have to follow YouTube. So, you know, mental health in the facility is something different. You know, I experienced it. I've never been in a facility at all, and I was in one, and I thought that was the best place I should have been at that moment because I thought I lost it, you know, and it got really bad, so I admitted myself in, and man, the things that happened.
Yeah, well, you know, me being a whistleblower, someone who has worked in the same facility that you were at, you self-admitted yourself. A lot of times people aren't forcibly admitted. They feel a little uneasy and they just want to go somewhere to clear their minds. I see that happen all the time. They don't have any major mental health disorder, but they just need to go somewhere just to clear their head. And that's the case of That's That Girl. She just went there to just clear her head and to just level out, but it became a nightmare when she was admitted. We're going to name the facility. The facility is called SummitRidge, located in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Okay? One of the main things that I want to ask you is, when you were admitted, or when you arrived, I should say, when you arrived to the facility, what's some of the first things that you noticed upon arriving into the mental health facility?
First thing I noticed is I'm a people person, and I love the whole wide world. I don't have an enemy in this world, and if I do, I will say, hey, I'm sorry for what I do or what I've done. But first, the staff, they was very, very rude. They were so rude. Me as a woman, I didn't say anything. I just was shocked. We came in there with a problem and we get treated like animals. And that's one thing I saw when I came in. And then I saw that they was needle happy, that they would shoot you with this, I call it tranquilizer. They shoot you, they would come out and shoot you. On a couple occasions, I will share with you guys, but right now, you're gonna have to follow me to know much detail, but oh my God, I saw that. And then I saw where, you know, they just treated us like we was animals. It wasn't that the staff was mean, it's how they treated the individual itself. Everybody had a different reason why they were there, but everybody got treated like a dog, like somebody that, and you know what was so bad, what really angered me the most, it was African peoples. These were African peoples, and they come here to America, y'all, and they treat us like that. That's not fair. It's not, you know, and
wow.
They didn't care.
So, wow, that's heavy. I mean, and like we're saying, see, why this interview is important, because you're looking at it from both sides of the spectrum. Someone who voluntarily just went into the facility to clear their head, and then you have someone who worked in the facility. So you're going to hear this knowledge is not one-sided, and everything she's saying, I can corroborate, I can actually attest to, being a witness to, you know, and it is unfortunate that, you know, people don't enjoy what they do. They get into an industry just for the money, and they treat the people like animals because they feel like they're not human, because they may have some stress may have built up to the point to where they feel like they just need to go to a facility. And I get it. I know it gets very emotional just discussing it. So what we're going to discuss right now is I want to talk about how the mental health facilities and industries are able to cover up the injustices that happen. What have you been experiencing?
So when I was in there, I talked to a young lady, supposed to be she was patient advocate. I talked to somebody about patient advocate, and once I talked to the patient advocate, she assured me that she was gonna investigate and get back with me before I leave the facility. But at first I was scared to say something to them. A guy in the facility had gave me their number, and I was scared to call because the second shift, because what happened to me, another shift came on. So once the other shift came on, the guy who was finna come on the shift looked at me like he was gonna kill me. Like I done something to him. So I never did say nothing. And then I heard her, I saw her, and she wasn't an African. And I asked her what was her title, and she said, my name is such and such. Colleen, I'm gonna say her name. And I'm patient advocate. And I said, ooh, I need to talk to you. And that lady looked me dead in my face and told me she was gonna investigate. That's one thing that happened. I never heard from her when I left the next day. So I called up and they gave me the runarounds. So I went up there and I talked to Miss Colleen again. And she didn't hear nothing. She didn't remember nothing I had. She didn't even remember seeing me, which I think it was a bunch of bull. So I told her my story and I cried to this lady again. And she said, I'm gonna investigate again. I said, you sure? Because that's what you said the last time. She said, yes, ma'am. So about 10 days later, I called Mrs. Nunn, by the way, who's the CEO of the joint. You can't get in touch with her. She make her own appointments. And I called and left her messages and messages and messages. And she never called me back. That's the CEO of SummitRidge. And then I went back up there. So after the day I went up there, 10 days came and she certified me a letter stating that she don't see nothing in the record about anything happening to me. And I still have that letter.
Now, just for the audience and the viewers and everyone who's listening, we want to express to the audience, this young lady voluntarily admitted herself into a facility to clear her head. And I want you to just explain briefly of the trauma that you experienced in there that's causing you to want to seek remedy and justice.
First of all, my life. I want my life. I felt like my life and my rights has been snatched away from me. Second of all, I can't move on without knowing that what happened to me and ain't nobody and won't nobody help me. And it's mentally driven me to a hole. I see counselor, I take medications, and this has ruined my whole life.
And for everyone listening, she voluntarily came in, she asked a question to the nurse. The next thing you know, she was put into a full Nelson and given at least 4 tranquilizer shots, which caused her to have to go to the bathroom. They allowed her to go without assistance, and she fell and hurt and damaged her arm and her back, which she's still getting treatment for to this day. Now, all she simply asked for is her records, her incident report, the file. And what is SummitRidge telling you when you ask for your records?
Well, first time I went on the facility, I went on the website. They tell you to go on the website, get the form. So I get the form, and they work with a company called ScanTech. I got in touch with ScanTech, and they manually helped me on the phone, and I submitted my request. So 7 to 10 days, I didn't hear nothing from them, so I called them back. When I called them back, they said that they didn't see me, they didn't see a request, and that I could look it up. Once I looked it up, they restricted me from the website. So when I sign in, I can't get on the website at all. So, and then...
And that wasn't because too many failed attempts, or you successfully was able to get in originally?
Yeah, I was able to get in originally. And then they said I'm not an authorized user in my account now.
Okay.
So then I went to SummitRidge, and I went in there and I asked them, I said, what do I need to get my record? She said, you need a form. And I had the form filled out because I just sent it to the other people. And she said, yeah, that form. So she copied it, and she said, I'll have my records in 30 days, and I don't have them.
But you're saying by August 5th will be well over 30? Yes. By 40 days you feel like?
Yes, August 5th.
And part 2, we're going to go through the details of her experience, her nightmare, I like to call it, because, you know, being someone who has worked, I'll put it out there, who has worked at SummitRidge, it's not a joke. It's not a figment of her imagination. If you look at the reviews on Google, which I'm going to include in this video, you'll see all the experiences that people are having. Now, we need more people. People feel like mental health facilities is the end-all be-all to fixing someone's problem. But do you think that made your issue worse? Or do you think it helped you in any way? Or did you come out of that facility more damaged than going in?
I came out more damaged than going in. I had a rotator cuff that I had to have surgery. And this is how high my hand could go up after that. And now I'm taking shots for my back. I'm getting my, getting where, I know the name, but right now they burning the muscles on each side
an infusion.
Infusion. It's an RFA. That's what it's called. I know it. So I know what they're doing. And last week at the orthopedic, they said there's nothing else they could do for me, for my arm. And that's a shame. So they have affected my whole life. My whole life. I got a new grandbaby.
Oh, congratulations.
And, you know, I'm scared to hold him.
Oh.
You know, I'm scared to hold him. My son, he disabled. I hired a special unit to come in and help me bathe him and get him right, because I ain't fit to do it. You know, due to this, it cost me a lot of trauma, a lot of pain for me, not for me, for my family. But it also, my whole thing about it is, if they doing me like that and got away with it, how many others out there, you guys? Come on, y'all, stand with me, because I know that somebody gonna see this video and say, yeah, it happened, man. Come on, I'm starting. We could finish this. And I'm getting emotional because this shit really hurt me. And if anybody else out there like this, come and stand with me, man.
Definitely.
And let's get it over, because I'm accepting. I'm accepting. But I accept it more when they accept what they got coming.
And that's why we're making this video, because no longer are we going to just sit by and let these facilities abuse people who are going through rough times, cover up the evidence. You know, there has to be some type of regulations. There has to be some type of justice that's going to be put forth, because, you know, like you said, it happens every day. And the people who suffer from mental health issues, they have no voice, because everybody just looks at them like, oh, that's just a figment of their imagination. It's not like, oh, like, it's not true what they're saying.
I made a police report.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that affect me. And I wouldn't be sitting here if my life could go on. Some things you just can't move on with.
What would you like to see as being justice rendered for you and for SummitRidge being atoning for their wrong? What's justice look like for you?
You know, first of all, I ain't the judge or the jury, okay? God knows. I ain't the one who gonna put no bad hex on people. But whatever happened to them, it's on them. But I will like for them to get more training. I would like that building to revamp everybody in that unit, or everybody that have any complaints, more than 1 or 2 complaints against them, because a lot of people got complaints. So I would like for them to take their complaints very seriously, you know, and get on these peoples, make these peoples accountable, because they're the sick peoples. Them the ones that got problems. The way they did me, they the one that got problems, and the way they doing other people. And peoples have died in this facility.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Video tonight of the SummitRidge Behavioral Health Hospital in Lawrenceville, where a patient allegedly shot a police officer. Second officer shot the patient and was able to get the gun back. The officer has since
got shot.
True.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So, hey, something got to change.
Yeah.
So SummitRidge, this is for you. SummitRidge don't help nobody. They hurt people just like they did me. Ask me how. And that's that girl.
Peace out. Come in for part 2. This is just part 1. We out.